Today is Thursday, June 9th, 2016. A lot has happened. With that, folks, I'm just going to go right into our sports update as always. We lost two big blows this past week. First and foremost, the king, the champ, the GOAT, acronym greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, a.k.a. Cassius Clay, has passed away, suffering 32 years of Parkinson's disease, dies at 74. The man was a great, the man, the myth, the legend. The world has been shocked. Also, not to say it's any less important, but I had to mention Muhammad Ali first, of course. Kimbo Slice dies 42. For those of you who don't know, he was a internet sensation as he caught a huge buzz in the last 10 to 12 years, having backyard fights on the mean streets of Miami, Florida. He actually got signed several years back to UFC. Dana White saw him, and he's been on the scene in the mixed martial arts scene. He dies with no real, I've been checking articles and asking my, close friends if they've heard anything new on it. Basically, it just says he's died of heart failure. He was admitted to the hospital last Friday, but has now, I believe, died Monday morning or late Monday night. But he was admitted into the hospital for some sort of respiratory problem and could be kidney failure, but nothing has really come out. People were saying that, the steroids could have taken an effect. I'm sure more things will come out. We just don't know, folks. We just don't know. We'll keep you posted. And, of course, Prince died. I don't know if Pravin and I had talked about that earlier. That was almost, 2 weeks ago now? So I might be old on that, but I just, we weren't talking. I'm telling you, they comes in threes, right? It comes in threes. You got Kimbo, Muhammad Ali, and Prince. Hopefully they don't come in fours, but, rest in peace. They will be missed. But, I did want to just throw that in because it is part of our sports little update. Basketball last night, not to shifting gears here, it's a little happier. Basketball yesterday, Golden State up 2-0. LeBron James and company needed a desperate win because I can't tell you, in a series of 7, folks, the difference between a 2-1 lead versus a 3-0 is so big. And I think LeBron knew that to heart. They go into Cleveland for the first game there, and they trounced them. From the opening tip-off to the end. They win at a score of 120-90. LeBron James and company smashed the Golden State Warriors by 30 points. It's really weird, too, because, Steph Curry drops 19, and it's like, oh, my God, is he sick? Is he ill? Is he dead? No, the guy's human. He drops 19 points. I could never drop 19 points. I can't even drop 19 points in a rec game. And I think I'm pretty sick. So it's like, whatever, leave the guy alone. It's all over ESPN. These guys are all over his ass talking about, this and that, about, oh, my God, is he okay? Is he this? Is he that? And then they showed him up close with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr's the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, and he mouths to Steph on the sideline and says, are you okay? Steph said, yes. Yeah, of course he's okay. He had a bad night. LeBron James is into the win. Kyrie Irving was unconscious. The man did not miss. LeBron with 32, Kyrie with 30. Kevin Love was there making a little, doing his limited production. But I'm telling you, it was great. They needed to do it. It's 2-1. Tomorrow's game, Friday, game 4 in Cleveland again. We'll see, folks. We'll see. Are they going to even out the score, or are they going to go up 3-1? We don't know. Moving on into baseball. I know most of us, I don't get it. I'm a huge baseball fan, but people really aren't the biggest on that. We have one game currently going on, bottom 5. The Mariners are at home taking on the Cleveland Indians, and it's 1-1. Texas takes on Houston in Texas, win 5-3. Colorado wins at home 11-5 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. I got to get to that field in Pittsburgh. PNC Field is great. Shout out to PNC. Yankees win 6-3 at home over the Angels. Baltimore wins on the road in Toronto 6-5. St. Louis away beats the Cincinnati Reds 3-2. And the Miami Marlins 10-3 over Minnesota in Minnesota at Target Field. Also a very nice field. The Mets, wow, talk about all these away teams winning. The Mets travel to Milwaukee as the Brewers lose 5-2. And the Chicago White Sox win 3-1 in Chicago at I was going to say Comiskey Park. I'm dated. The U.S. Cellular. NHL getting real hectic, real hairy, real hairy. We have a forced game 6, as Game 5, San Jose Sharks take it at 4-2 in Pittsburgh. So Sidney Crosby, a.k.a. Sid the Kid, he's going to have to just chill out, regain, download, upload, reboot, as him and his boys will take on the San Jose Sharks in San Jose. What is that, tomorrow? I'm sorry, June 12th. Yeah, big delay there. Travel day, plus it's a contact sport, so these guys need their rest. But if Game 7 will happen, they'll go back to Pittsburgh on the 15th. But I don't know if we have any big hockey fans out there, but it's going really good. I've been watching Sidney Crosby forever. And it's, I don't really care either way. I just want to see a good game. Of course, I'll watch a Game 7. That's pretty much all I got for sports. We do have a wonderful show for you guys tonight. Time now is 9:06. You're listening to Chelladurai Inc. show. I'm your host, Aaron Trilling, alongside Jordan Pravin. Let him give him his little spiel real here. Jordan, tell us what you say with us.
Going on. Thank you for joining us all tonight. It's another excellent episode. Good to have everybody on. And, we actually have a guest calling in tonight from Vancouver, Mr. Intense, from Intense Music Group. I believe he is still calling in right now. Let me just follow up with him real quick. Okay, let me see.
George is verifying if our guest will be calling in tonight. It looks like he did RSVP late this afternoon. As he just checked. George, you want to say anything?
Yeah, so, anyways, that's what we're just broadcasting tonight out of the Miramar Road. Out of the Miramar Road office. We just have Gilbertine stepping out right now, so we're just bidding him farewell right now. But anyways, it's been an excellent week, and I hope the same for everyone else. Very productive week. And here we are again, 38 episodes in, just shy of another 12 episodes. We'll have a 50th anniversary, and I believe we are doing something, right, Aaron, for the 50th anniversary?
Absolutely.
As we're stepping in with that. So it looks like maybe we might be doing a giveaway. There's something in the talks about, doing some type of giveaway. So, we're going to probably have some kind of lottery system for everyone out there. Some type of raffle. So, we don't know what the prize may be. We'll just have to sit tight and, and see. Maybe we'll start to release that and peel back the layers kind of as the time goes by. Time continues in the next few episodes. But anyways, just, to follow up on kind of where everything is going with the David Cakewood project, everything is, in motion, and I think it's about high time for a single to drop, so definitely be on the lookout for that. If you are not following us on YouTube, definitely please do subscribe to the YouTube, and we promise that we will produce a lot more content and get it up on there. And it's just been a wonderful experience, slowly ramping up the content and the creation, and it's just really freeing. And I think did we speak about the War of Art last week? I think we did, right?
Briefly
touched on it. Okay. Well, anyways, I pretty much have finished the War of Art at this point, and it's really amazing just the way that the resistance has been kind of talked about and really released, so that everyone kind of can free themselves and get to what their ambitions are, and really releasing their brakes, so to speak, which we've said multiple times before. And it does look like our guest is on right now. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and bring him on. Intense. with Intense
Hello?
Music Group. Are you on? Are you on, sir?
I'm on. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can
Hey,
you
how
hear
you
me?
doing? Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for having me, and appreciate you guys having me on the air.
Yeah, Intense, thanks so much. This is Aaron, also a co-host on the show. Again, I just want to thank you so much. I don't know how much Jordan really briefed you. He did get you on for tonight, which I really appreciate. But basically, Intense, I just want you to really just go over what you're all about, what you're doing. I checked out your Instagram; it looks great. But just kind of talk to our audience a little bit about what your message is, what you're trying to do. Just tell us about your journey, and any advice, of course, that you could pass on to me or Jordan or, anybody listening. We'd love to hear about it. So right now, you just have a few minutes to kind of just introduce yourself, a little bit of background, and what you're really all about.
Cool. Yeah, my name is I go by Intense. I'm a music producer, composer, DJ. I'm based out of Vancouver, BC. I've been doing this for approximately 14 years. I'm 27 now, so I started when I was 13. I started off being a DJ, doing little local events. As being a DJ, I used to make remixes, and I would distribute them through, obviously social media back then was MSN Messenger and stuff like that. And locally here in Vancouver and Surrey, I was building a name for myself. And as I progressed, I eventually started doing shows with bigger names all around in the local Indian community, with people that would come from abroad. So, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with a lot of artists that are in the Bhangra or Bollywood industry. But I worked with a lot of artists, guys like, for example, B21 or Dr. Zeus, etc. And then, I just quickly progressed and started composing music. And from there, I actually went to school, got my diploma in sound engineering, and I started progressing more into music to the point where I took off to India, and I did a lot of work in the Bollywood music industry. So yeah, that's where I'm at this point in a nutshell. Just working away. Yeah, I make music for a living. That's exactly what I do.
That's great. And Intense, not how much, what types of music do you what's kind of your niche? What's your genre that you focus on?
So, basically, I'm my biggest fan base is in obviously the Indian music industry. So I make Bhangra music, I make Hindi music, like Bollywood music, and then I do tons of hip hop, R&B, EDM, just based stuff in the Indian music industry. So I work out in the Bollywood music industry. I've worked on a lot of different films and stuff like that. Yeah.
And do you have a record label yourself right now that you identify with, or are you just kind of independent doing your thing, or what's your brand? I mean, I know your name is Intense. I don't know if Intense.
Yeah, so I have my own brand. I have my own brand, which is IMG. It's Intense Music Group. On that brand, I have a series of local artists here in Vancouver that I work with. I also work abroad in India, so I work with labels such as T-Series and Speed Records, which are very, very, very big labels. I've worked with Universal Music in India as well, and Sony and a few of these other labels. So basically, I am not currently signed to a label. I have my own independent label, but I work with a lot of the bigger labels up there in the sense of where I distribute a lot of different tracks to different labels.
Great. And how did you get into? You mentioned the whole Bollywood thing. How did you kind of get into that? That's a wonderful market to get into. I mean, I know you did say you're Indian, but that's still that's great. How did that kind of come to be?
Well, what had happened was I had worked with a few different artists from India already. Of course, social media is such an amazing thing in capability of connecting with different people from all around the world, and I connected with the right people, and I ended up going off to India. And I lived in Delhi for a bit, and I lived in Mumbai. And when I took off to Mumbai, it was kind of the right place, the right time, kind of a thing. I had showcased some of my music to a few labels who were working on different movies. One label being Z Music, which is a very, very prominent, huge, massive label in India, which does a lot of distribution for different Bollywood movies. And so I had locked in a couple tracks for a couple movies with them. With I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of Sunny Leone. She's a ex-porn star, and she is she's doing quite well in the Bollywood music industry, Bollywood movie industry. and so I did a few playback tracks for her, and from there it just went bigger and better. It blew up a bit, and that's where it kind of began. That's how I got into it. Right place at the right time.
This is Jordan again, and I mean I'm really kind of blown away by that because I've of course I'm Indian also, and I've been to India multiple times, and it's kind of interesting to see. You're talking about Z music. I've seen it so many times, and it's really crazy to see. I mean, it's really amazing that that you had music placed with such large labels. So I mean, I definitely take my hat off to you, and I'm sure that wasn't an easy road to get there.
It was more surreal as opposed to being hard, actually, to be honest with you. Like I said, out in India, for example, they're very much constrained when it comes to music in the sense of that they're stuck in having like a very, very certain type of music as opposed to being open to doing different things. And now with the generation change and the youth kind of taking over, the music's really starting to change out there, and so they're really trying to incorporate a lot of Western music out in India. So it was like when I went there, obviously I'm born and raised in Canada. I'd taken off there, and when they heard my stuff, they're like, "Oh, this is perfect for what we need. This is exactly what we want," and it worked out. Can't complain.
That's nice, yeah. So what would you say that and I know exactly what you mean. I mean, there are a lot of different, even within India, there's a lot of different styles of music, and I know exactly what you mean. But what would you say your approach is to music? Are you using like more like guitars, synths, pianos, or what is your style? How would you classify it?
Like I use everything. I'm basically one of those people that just I like to make good music. So what sounds good is what I use. Whether it be guitars, whether it be pianos. I do a lot of live instrumentation all the time, but I do also do a lot of sample based stuff in the sense of where I will record live instruments, but I will turn them into my own samples. You know what I mean? So as opposed to having something synthesized, like don't get me wrong, I've used my keyboard and stuff and used like flutes and strings off of my keyboards and different soft synths and stuff like that, but nothing beats the original sound, right?
Right. No, I agree 100%. I agree 100%, definitely.
And my sound is very, very urban. I would say I have a very urban, very hip hop. I've grown up listening to a lot of hip hop, R&B. I'm from the West Side here, the West Coast here, so I've always loved my West Coast stuff. I'm a big Dr. Dre fan, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I can go on for days. And that's music I grew up with, so I bring that kind of flavor to the Indian music.
Definitely, and that's what before you take off tonight. I think Aaron had another question, but before you take off tonight, definitely we'll get links from you, and then we'll put that up so that our audience can also get a vibe for your sound.
Hell yeah, no problem.
This is Aaron again. And Seth, you said you mentioned you've been doing this since you were 13. You're 27 now, so I'm no mathematician, but it sounds like you've been doing this over half your life. Obviously, something sparked under your ass to really, you're really passionate about this at an early age, and you've continued to do it, and you've continued to grow, and you've continued to market yourself to be successful, to get to where you are today. I guess my question for you is, where were some of those original influences that came about? Anybody? I mean, I know you just mentioned those four. They're great pioneers in the game on the West Coast, but additionally, if there's anybody else, musically or non-musically, really, who had really influenced you.
I would say it actually was kind of like one of those things in my family as well, right? Like, there's nobody really that took music seriously, but I find a lot of people in my family are actually gifted with music or have some sort of tie to music, right? Growing up, my grandfather was he's a religious guy, and he always just listened to a lot of religious music, and I was a baby, and he would be interested, obviously. And then I'm growing up like with my older cousins, and obviously you're influenced by your older elders and stuff like that, your older cousins. One of my cousins used to play an Indian drum called a tol, and I wanted to play that, and one of my other cousins was a DJ, so these are the brothers, and obviously they're my older brothers, and I was like, okay, I want to do what you guys do. And what ended up happening was I pursued everything, they kind of stopped, and I just kept going, you know what I mean? it was just one of those things. I really was influenced by people around me, and then I guess the talent came out when it came out.
Sure. And then just going back
to your
yeah, absolutely. Just going back to your artists, I mean, do you have a lot of, people that you do work with? You said you associate with a handful of people up there in the Vancouver area. I mean, is it exclusively rappers? Do you have singers? I mean, how much?
I have singers, rappers, R&B. I do tons of different styles of music. Of course, I do the Indian music, right? But I also do a lot of R&B stuff. I work with the Indian artists. I have probably on YouTube at this moment. If I were to accumulate all the songs, I probably have close to over maybe 60 million views on YouTube for all my songs that I have produced out there. In the Indian music industry, yeah. Like if I were to accumulate all the tracks I've done on YouTube, I probably have at least like 10, 11 songs that are on YouTube videos. And yeah, I've accumulated probably at least about 60 million views on all those tracks altogether. The most being one I did for a movie in Bollywood. It was with Sunny Leone, and we got probably over 30 million views on that one song itself. And yeah, so I've done a lot of R&B music as well. As I have my whole mission out here was I did all the stuff in India. I'm born and raised in Vancouver. I can't obviously. Everybody wants to go make money, so I was in India to make money. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to bring what I loved out to the world. So I came back here and picked up a few artists. So I work with a female artist. Her name is JC. She is an R&B artist. I had just produced her first debut EP. She's an Indian girl. Amazing vocals. I will forward you guys her links and stuff so you guys can check out the EP that we had done. And yeah, great. That's my mission lately now. Is I've been trying to promote, because out here in Vancouver we do not have a big music industry. It's not like Toronto. Like you guys, you got Drake and you got Tory Lanez and all these other people out the weekend. And so I'm trying to bring that here, and it's starting to slowly grow. I've noticed over the last couple of years I've been back, it's been growing, and I think in the next couple of years we're about to really set a foundation in the world, Vancouver. That's how I feel. Great.
Yeah, that's a great vision. What else did I have? I had something else for you. Jordan and I are big readers over here. I don't know if you are, Intense, but is there anything that you have read, or if you're currently reading, if you're going to read, or any past literary pieces or authors that really resonate with you? I mean, is there any books that you have, really taken as lifelong lessons and applied to your musical career at all? And in terms of,
I'll be very, very honest with you. I'm not a big reader. I'm more of a visual. I'm a more visual guy. Right? I'm one of those people that watches a lot of movies. And I will watch certain movies to set my mood into different ways. And it's usually depending on how I'm feeling during the day or whatever, right? But most of the time, I don't even got time to watch movies. I'm busy in my studio work making music.
Sure. No, absolutely. It's completely understood. I will, just because, you're not so much of a reader, that's totally fine. I will go ahead and make a suggestion to you, actually. It's a great book. Jordan and I are both reading it right now. It's by the producer Timbaland. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Okay.
He has a book out called Emperor of Sound, and I highly, you don't have to do it tomorrow, but I would definitely check that out. I think it would, really resonate with you a lot, and you would definitely vibe with that book. So again, it's Timbaland. He actually wrote it. He wrote the book. I think it was also co-written by, maybe like a professional author, but I mean, it's his book, and it's called Emperor of Sound. And it talks a little bit about his background, and like he got in a really bad car accident. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It was kind of life-changing, and I think there was somebody in the passenger seat that lost their life, and it kind of really set the stage for him. But, he kind of talks about then, I think he's from, Jordan, is he from Virginia or Florida?
I think it might be Virginia.
I think he's from Virginia. Anyway, yeah, it's really good. And I when you have some time, whether you, when you start to really catch a buzz, not obviously you're catching a buzz with more than 60 million views, but when you start flying places and you start really going, I mean, when you fly, you can sleep or read, and I always, when I fly, I do most of my reading then.
Yeah, definitely. Flying is a great time to read.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd definitely check out Emperor Sound. And for everybody out listening, do check that book out. I've mentioned it before in past episodes, by Timbaland. And again, it's called Emperor of Sound. Lastly, real quick, Intense, what is your YouTube channel? Just go ahead and shout that out. Is it just like your Instagram? This is Intense with a Z?
So yes, that is my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Facebook is all that. Is this IZ Intense. And then my YouTube is Intense Music Group. I will also on my, if you do check out my Facebook, you will see links to all the songs that I have done. Most of the tracks I have produced are on other labels, so like you will see all the different tracks I've done for different Bollywood movies and different singles that I produced with different artists. And yeah, see what I'm coming up with now.
Wonderful. Any real advice at all? I mean, you've been in the game a long time, Intense. Any advice to any new aspiring up-and-coming producers or musicians at all? That anything that you could really, shed light on, or encourage them to keep doing or stop doing, or any advice really that you have for anybody out there in the music game or not the music game that are just trying to better
advice
themselves?
Is to anybody who is passionate at what they do. If you really believe in yourself, you will get what you want at the end of the day. Everybody's been in that same position you have when you're struggling and trying to make it somewhere. You name the artist, they've done it, right? I just read an article about Kanye West the other day, and how there's another, I'm not sure what the rapper's name was, he was a white rapper who never really made it anywhere, but he was talking about how he was in a studio beside Kanye West, and people would not even listen to Kanye West rap. They would laugh at him. And I remember he's like, we were in a big room, like the Red Man and a bunch of these guys, and they had Jesus Walks playing, and they all heard and they laughed. And a year later, guess what? He won a Grammy for it. You know what I mean? Don't stop. Anything is possible. If you feel like you're a weirdo, you're a weirdo for a reason. It's a good thing. You know what I mean? Be happy, be positive, keep going, never give up. And I swear you'll always make it somewhere.
Yeah, that couldn't be more true for me. If you're a weirdo, I'll tell you. Yeah, that's definitely me. Thanks so much for you guys just joining, or just the last couple minutes. You want to know who this is? This is DJ, music producer Intense out of Vancouver, BC. That's British Columbia, not Vancouver, Washington. YouTube, check him out. It's Intense Music Group off his YouTube channel, and Instagram. Right. This is Intense. That's an IZ, not an IS. This is Intense. Intense, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Jordan and I are beyond appreciative of you joining our show tonight. And I'll definitely have you and Jordan. Absolutely. And I'll definitely have Jordan and you guys hook up, off the air. And, we can definitely do something because, as you know, Jordan is a big producer as well. We have a bunch of music that we're producing out here, which is in large part why we started the show. So we'll definitely keep in touch. And, again, we do appreciate it.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks so much. Take care.
Right. You guys take care as well. Okay.
Thanks. Folks, that was Intense. Literally and literally. Yeah, he was great. Jordan, thanks for that. Last minute guest. We had a cancellation for next week. We do have a wonderful guest for next week that I'll introduce next week. But yeah, real good guy. Sounds like Jordan, you guys got a lot of good qualities together. Both Indian, both in the game for a long time. You've been producing, maybe not 14 years, but damn near, right? I mean, you've been really doing that a lot.
I mean, it's been, at least since about, I think, 21, 22 when I really got serious with it. But, I mean, I have a long, long road ahead of me as far as making any type of professional placements or anything like that. But, hey, even if I never, it would be nice to make that. But even if it never happened, until they take me to the grave, I'll keep pumping them out just because it's for the love of the game. It really is something that I enjoy doing, and I see myself doing continuously. And it's funny because earlier today I was kind of thinking to myself while I was driving up here to do the show, I was just thinking, wow, I can make a beat tonight and continue making beats every single day of my life and never run out of beats to make. I mean, it's like, it's a language, really. I mean, it's amazing the power of music, the way that it can affect people emotionally, mentally, inspirationally. And, to throw out one artist who I think we've talked about before, from here, from California, Los Angeles, Nipsey Hussle. I mean, he's a huge inspiration to us and our movement as far as, the grind, the marathon, the discipline, the work ethic, because that's really all it is. That's all we really have at the end of the day. Is the grind, the embracing it, really embracing the ups, embracing the downs, embracing the tough times, embracing the good times. Sometimes you're struggling to make payroll when you have employee payroll coming up, and you're scraping your own bank account to pay your employees, but you do what you do to make stuff happen. And at the end of the day, we're all out here for a purpose much larger than we were brought up to initially believe. So whatever that calling is that you have, and you have a calling, you do have that. Every single one of you who are listening, you have something inside of you that's tugging at you, pulling at you every day. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Anyways, it's been another wonderful show, and like we said, a lot more new exciting things coming up. Look out for that raffle. Everybody, will let you know how to get in on that raffle for the 50th episode that we will be doing a drawing. We'll have some type of prize, and just stay at it. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. And I'll let Aaron take you out.
Yeah, Jordan, thanks so much, folks. Again, thanks for joining us tonight. Intense, of course. Thank you for the wonderful guest show. We're going to wrap it up right now. Time now 9:32 West Coast time, 12:30 back east. Keep that head high, that middle finger higher. Make those goals, hit those margins, make those missions, and get them done. And we'll see you guys same time, same place next week. You guys take care.